Howdy, just doing a quick video helping with 71 and 2. 7C, there was another YouTube video on that, so I'll give you a link for that. So the surface area of anything that has planar faces, or flat faces, is just the sum of all the faces. So this has all flat sides. The problem is you need to keep in mind all of the different sides on this shape. So you have the back side is a rectangle. You have this front diagonal side, which is also a rectangle. You have the bottom, and then you have the back triangle and the front triangle. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides to this. So the back rectangle is going to be 4. It's 4 tall by 6 wide. So it's 4 by 6. That one is 4 times by 6, which is 24 square centimeters. The front, you're told, is 5 long and 6 wide, so 5 times by 6 equals 30 square centimeters. The back triangle is the same as the front triangle. That triangle is 4 tall and 3 across, so base times height, 4 times 3, base times height divided by 2. 4 times 3 is 12 divided by 2, 6 square centimeters is the back. So the front is also going to be 6 square centimeters. And the bottom is going to be 3 times 6 is equal to 18 square centimeters. So total SA is going to be 24 plus 30 plus 6 plus 6 plus 18 equals 24 plus 30 plus 6 plus 6 plus 18, 84 square centimeters. This one is harder because you're not told how long this hypotenuse is. You don't know, that's question mark. So you need to use Pythagoras to work it out. That's 6, that's 10. So question mark squared according to Pythagoras. Question mark squared is going to be equal to 10 squared plus 6 squared. Question mark squared is going to be 100 plus 36. Question mark squared is going to be 136. Question mark is going to be, not cube root, square root of 136. It's going to be 11.66 to 2 decimal points meters. So now we can find all the sides. There's the top. The top is 10 by 12 equals 120 square meters. The back is 6 by 12 equals 72 square meters. The triangle at the rear is 6 times 10 over 2. 60 divided by 2 is 30 square meters. So the front is also 30 square meters. And now we just need the diagonal side. The wonky side that we found the hypotenuse for is 11.66 times by, it's 12 wide. 12 equals 11.66 times 12 times 12, 139.92 square meters. So total SA equals 139.92 plus 72 plus 30 plus 30 plus 120 equals plus 72 plus 30 plus 30 plus 120, 391.92 square meters. Okay, that's number 2. Number 4. So this looks weird, but you need to keep in mind that this is this shape on the top. That is a trapezium. The area of a trapezium is the short side, A, plus the long side, B, divided by 2. And then you times it by the height, which is this 81. So the area of this shape is going to be 75 plus 219 divided by 2 times by the height, which was 81. 75 plus 219 divided by 2 times by 81. 11,907 square centimeters. So the bottom would be the same thing. On the bottom side would also be 11,907 square centimeters. This rectangle here is going to be 34. Oh, wait, sorry. I just found the top and the bottom surfaces, so it's going to be 11,907 plus 11,907 is going to be 23,814 square centimeters. Find the area of each side of the case. So that's what I'm doing now. This front side is 34 times 75. 34 times 75. 2550 square centimeters. The back side on the left is going to be 81 times by 34. 81 times 34, 2754 square centimeters. The rear that we can't see is going to be 219 long times by, and because it's standing up, it's going to be this rectangle like that, which is 34 according to the diagram. 219 times 34, 7446 square centimeters. So the only thing missing is this side here. I'll do it in a different color. This side here on the right, and we don't have any information for that. So we need to use Pythagoras, because if I drew a line like this along the top and made it right angled there, that would allow us to work out how long it is just on this side. And this whole thing is 219. This side is 75. So the difference is going to be that length there. So 219 minus 75. This part is going to be 144. 144 centimeters. So why is that useful? Because I can use Pythagoras to work out the length of the hypotenuse here. We'll call it question mark. So question mark squared is equal to 144 squared plus the tallness of that triangle is 81 squared. 144 squared plus 81 squared. 27,297. So question mark is going to be square root of that. 165.22 centimeters is question mark. 165.22 centimeters. So now we can work out the area of this rectangle here. Draw an arrow. That is going to be 165.22 times by the height of it is 34. 165.22 times 34. 5617.48 square centimeters. So find the area of each side of the case. I just did. Underline. No, that's not the sides, that's the top and the bottom. This side, the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 4 sides. Find the value of timber used to construct this case. Per square meter. Total area is the top and the bottom, 23814, plus the sides, 7446 plus 2754 plus 2550 plus 5617.48. 2550 plus 2754 plus 7446 plus 23814 totals 42181.48. square centimeters. You need to use your flow chart to convert 100 centimeters in a meter. So I need to divide 42181.48 divided by 100 times 110,000 is equal to 4.218148 square meters. Why do we need in square meters? Because the cost is in square meters. I just worked out how many square meters that was. So 4.218148 times by 128 equals $539.92. $539.92. So that's C. Find the area of the sides of each case. I did the area of the sides of each case underlined here. B and A was here. Cylinder, spheres and cones. Find to one decimal place the outer surface area of. So this SA equals 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r d. 2 pi radius is 8. 8 squared plus 2 pi 8 times 12. Eight squared times pi times 2 plus 2 times pi times 8 times 12. 1005.31 square centimeters to 2 decimal points. Surface area of a sphere. SA equals 4 pi r squared. 4 pi radius is 3.4 squared. 3.4 squared times by pi times by 4. 145.27 square centimeters to 2 decimal points. Surface area of a cone is equal to the circle on the bottom, pi r squared plus pi r s. This says it's hollow, so it's not going to have the circle on the bottom, so you can ignore that. It's just going to be pi times by the radius, which was 6, times by s, which is 10. So pi times 6 times 10, 188.50 square centimeters to 2 dp. Radius of this cone is going to be 7 meters. It's not hollow anymore, so surface area is equal to pi times by the radius, 7 squared, plus pi times the radius, 7 times by s, which is 18. Pi times 7 squared plus pi times 7 times 18. 549.78 square meters to 2 decimal points. The top of this is hollow. The surface area of a cylinder was 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r d. But one of the circles is hollow, so it's not going to be 2 pi, it's going to be 1 pi. So it's going to be pi times by the radius. The radius is going to be 10. 10 squared plus 2 pi times 10 times by 12. Pi times by 10 squared plus 2 times pi times 10 times 12. 1068.14 square centimeters to 2 decimal points. We have a sphere. Half of that sphere is going to be 2.25 kilometers. Why do we need that? Because the surface area of a sphere is 4 times pi times radius squared. 4 times pi times by 2.25. 4 times pi times 2.25. Ooh, I didn't square it. 2.25 squared. 63.62 square kilometers. What else was there? 6. The height of a hollow cylinder is the same as its diameter. So the diameter is all the way across. So the diameter would be 2 radiuses. And you're told the height is the same as its diameter. 2 radiuses. Write an expression for the outer surface area of the cylinder in terms of its radius. Well, the formula I've given you for the surface area of a cylinder is 2 times pi times by radius squared plus 2 times pi times by radius times by the depth, or how tall the thing is. It's got a hollow top and the bottom, so it's missing the top and it's missing the bottom, so we don't need the circles here. So right now we've got 2 times pi times radius times by the depth. And you've been told that the depth is the same as the diameter, which is 2r, so that d can be replaced with 2r. 2 times pi times radius times by 2 times by r. Now the order of multiplication doesn't matter, so we can bring these two 2's together. 2 times 2 is 4. There's no other pi, so we'll leave it. And then you've got r times r times by r is r squared. So I'm thinking the answer at the back is going to be 4 times pi times r squared, or 4 pi r squared probably. Write an expression for the outer surface of the area of the cylinder in terms of its radius. Done. Find the height of the cylinder if its surface area is 91.6 square meters. So you've been told its surface area, so we're using this formula. 91.6 is the surface area, and we just found an expression that was 4 pi r squared. The only thing we don't know is what r is, so we can get rid of this 4 pi. The opposite of timesing by 4 pi is dividing by 4 pi. 4 pi, that's going to cancel. R squared is going to be whatever. Where'd the calculator go? 91.6 divided by 4 pi is 91.6 divided by 4 pi. R squared is 7.29. Meters. So r is going to be the square root of 7.29. R is going to be 2.69. That rounds to 7. 2.70 meters. That's not the answer. That's just r, and this is asking what is the height of the cylinder. The height of the cylinder was 2r, so 2r equals 2.7 times 2, 5.4. 5.4 meters is the height. Last one, question 7. The slant height of a hollow cone is 3 times its radius. It's hollow. Write an expression for the outer surface area of the cone in terms of its radius. So the formula you've got is surface area of a cone is pi r squared, which is the circle on the bottom, plus pi r s. It is hollow, so it doesn't have the circle on the bottom. So right now your surface area is pi r s. Outer surface area of the cone in terms of its radius r. S is the slant, but we've been told that the slant is 3r, so that S can be replaced by 3 lots of r. Same as above, we can bring the things together. 3 at the front times pi times by r is r squared. So that's A done. B, given the surface area is 21.2, find the cone's slant height. So 1, slant height is 3r. So we know the surface area is 21.2 equals 3 times pi times r squared. Divide both sides by 3 pi. Cancels. R squared is going to be whatever 21.2. 21.2 divided by 3 pi is 2.25. 0.25 centimeters. So r is going to be the square root of that. 1.50 centimeters. That's what r is. We want to know what 3r is. So 3r is equal to 1.5 times by 3. 4.5 centimeters slant height. 2. The actual height of the cylinder, we need to use Pythagoras. So you've got a right angled triangle, which is the height of the cylinder. So let's call that h. 3r is the hypotenuse, but we just worked that out to be 4.5. So the hypotenuse squared, 4.5 squared, equals the straight side squared plus the other straight side squared, r. But we just worked out r was 1.5 squared. So calculator, 4.5, square it. So this side is 20.25 equals h squared plus 1.5 squared is 2.25. The opposite of adding 2.5 is taking it. So take it from both sides. 20.25 take 2.25 is 18. 18 is equal to h squared. H is going to be the square root of 18. H will be 4.24, I think it was centimeters, to 2 decimal points. So the height is going to be 4.24 centimeters. I think that's all the questions you asked for. That's volume. So that's the video. Hopefully it helps you out. See you in the next one.